It's over. After 10 years, 20 trophies, and a complete redefinition of what English football can look like, Pep Guardiola is leaving Manchester City. The news broke in the early hours of May 18, 2026, and it hit the football world like a thunderclap. After a full decade of relentless success at the Etihad, the greatest manager of his generation has decided this is where his chapter ends. When the final whistle blows on this season, Guardiola walks away, and nothing at Manchester City will ever quite be the same again. The signs had been building. In the pre-match press conference ahead of City's away trip to Bournemouth, the atmosphere was already thick with tension. Journalists pushed and probed, asking the same question from every possible angle. And Guardiola, visibly exhausted, visibly done with the circus, could only sigh and give a weary but blunt reply. That question has been asked many times. I still have 1 year left on my contract. His contract technically runs until the summer of 2027, but the tiredness in his voice told a different story entirely. According to journalist Oliver Holt of the Daily Mail, who broke the story first and was subsequently confirmed by another credible source, Manchester City have already begun informing key stakeholders. Guardiola will officially step down this Sunday. The club's silence when contacted by the Press Association only made the story feel more final. No denial, no pushback, just silence, which in football says everything. Behind closed doors, the mood is reported to be fractured. There are whispers of a heated phone argument between Guardiola and midfielder Bernardo Silva, a player who has been central to his system for years. The details remain unclear, but the tension is real. And yet, despite all of it, a celebratory open-top bus parade through the streets of central Manchester has been confirmed for Monday, honoring the men's team, the women's team, and the academy. It will be a celebration, yes, but it will also be a farewell. And the shock on supporters' faces right now tells you just how sudden this feels, even if it had been coming. Now let's talk about what Guardiola actually built here, because the numbers alone don't do it justice, but they're still staggering. When he arrived from Bayern Munich in the summer of 2016, there were genuine doubts. Could his short passing, positional philosophy survive the physical demands of English football? Could he handle the pace, the intensity, the weather, the scrutiny? 10 years later, he didn't just survive. He transformed everything. 20 major trophies, 6 Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups, 5 League Cups, 3 Community Shields, a UEFA Champions League title in 2023, won in a breathless final against Inter Milan, a European Super Cup, a FIFA Club World Cup, and just last Saturday, a 1-0 victory over Chelsea at Wembley to lift the FA Cup, which now appears to have been his final gift to the club he is leaving behind. The numbers from those 10 years are almost surreal. The 2017-18 season produced 100 points in the Premier League, a record that still stands and may never be broken. The 2018-19 campaign brought a domestic quadruple. Then came the historic treble in 2022-23. And beneath all of that, the extraordinary achievement of winning 4 consecutive Premier League titles, something no English club had ever done. He didn't just win. He won in ways that made football historians stop and rewrite their comparisons. But why now? Why is Guardiola choosing to leave at this precise moment? The timing is significant. Manchester City are in a knife-edge Premier League title race, and things have just tilted decisively away from them. Arsenal, managed by Guardiola's former pupil Mikel Arteta, have just beaten Burnley and opened up a 5-point gap at the top of the table. City still have 2 games in hand, against Bournemouth and Aston Villa, but the pressure is enormous. If Arsenal win their final game against Crystal Palace, none of it will matter. The title goes to North London, and Guardiola's last competitive act at City could end without a trophy in the league he dominated. And then there's the legal shadow that has never fully lifted. Manchester City face more than 100 charges of alleged financial rule violations. An independent hearing that began in May 2023 and concluded its proceedings in December 2024, though no final verdict has yet been delivered. That cloud has hung over every achievement, every title, every celebration. Whether it influenced Guardiola's decision to leave remains unclear, but it is impossible to separate the context from the conversation. Faced with this moment of transition, Manchester City's leadership moved quickly. The man they've chosen to take over is Enzo Maresca, a coach who served as Guardiola's assistant for 3 seasons between 2022 and 2023, before going on to manage Leicester City and then Chelsea. The appointment of a Guardiola disciple is a deliberate signal. The club wants to preserve the identity, the philosophy, and the style that made them dominant. Whether Maresca can carry that weight is the question that will define Manchester City's next decade. And look around English football right now. Guardiola's influence is everywhere. Mikel Arteta is leading Arsenal towards a title. Enzo Maresca is about to take charge at the Etihad. And at Chelsea, new manager Xabi Alonso, another former Guardiola pupil from his time at Bayer Leverkusen, is preparing to reshape another club in his image. The man is leaving, but the philosophy is multiplying. The golden era of Pep Guardiola at Manchester City will end this Sunday. 10 years, 20 trophies, 100 points, 4 titles in a row, a Champions League. A transformation so complete that English football, from the grassroots to the elite, thinks differently about possession, pressing, and the geometry of the game because of what he built here. It's hard to accept that after this Sunday, we won't see that familiar figure on the Etihad touchline anymore. The pauses, the hand gestures, the tactical adjustments made in real time, all of it gone. Enzo Maresca will inherit an enormous legacy and face enormous scrutiny in a club still navigating legal uncertainty and a transition in footballing power. But before all of that, before the new chapter begins, there is only one thing left to say. Thank you, Pep. You didn't just win football matches, you changed the way the world understands the game. And that is a legacy no verdict, no transfer window, and no successor can ever take away.